Hi everyone. So I'm Renaud, as he said. I'm one of the three co-founders of Logmatic, and I was leading the product before. And obviously, I'm here to talk about logs. So, that's what logs look like actually when you don't use a log management platform. So you open lots of terminals and you actually answer to all the tricky questions people are asking about what happened and everything. So if one of the good idea that we had, yeah, okay. So somebody had one day a very good idea to make life easier. We're going to collect, process, and centralize everything into a search engine. So by doing that, I will be able to just type any query as I do in Google, for instance, and I'm going to just get my answer much more faster. So now the question, when I arrived at Datadog, the question we were asking to ourselves was, are we going to make, may I say, just another log management solution? And I think it gets back to the roots, why do we generate logs at the first place? So with logs, actually, I can tell any story, and that's what makes them very special. Because of this free format, actually, I'm going to pretty much say, hey, I want to have this information somewhere, and the thing is, it's where you put your information you don't want to miss when you need it. So it's really relatively important information. And when I say relatively, I don't mean that's not important, but if it will be as important as it should be, it will go in regular databases, for instance. So that's what are logs. And now I can store large quantities of them and for a long time. So these qualities make logs very, very special to your monitoring and your observability. So how do we use them? We troubleshoot. Okay, so at the first place, we invented log to troubleshoot application. So that's what we do. And we debug application as well, which means that because we have all the information about where the logs were generated, at what moment, etc., we are able to patch our application and say, hey, okay, I know what happened, I'm going to patch it. But I can also do things like user support, because usually you have your user journeys from all the access logs and from all the queries your users are doing. And you can do a bunch of auditing about all the features. You can do some feature tracking over the last 3 years if you want, if you store them, or of course all the security audits that you may want to do when you find something in your infrastructure. So let's get back to the original question. Why Datadog wants to integrate log management in the mix? So this, as you all recognize it here, I guess, this is something like a change of behavior on the curve. And even if you have tons of metrics and you have all this monitoring, sometimes, even you're not going to be able to answer everything with metrics. So, and I think what's really important is that logs is all about the why. Okay, why that happen? And because we keep all these tons of events, we are going to have so much information that somehow we believe that we are going to be able to answer the question. So what we are trying to do is, as Alexis said, a seamless product where I have a bump here, and I'm going to be able to jump from a metric here to the most related logs, and then I'm going to just be able to find very quickly what happened. And we also believe that you should use the right tools. Because that's not because you use metrics or you use an APM tool or you use only a log tool, because I saw lots of companies doing metrics with logs and they thought they could do everything. that you should like push your tools too much. Actually, you should just use the right thing for answering your questions. So now our mission, as you may know, it's to bring sanity to cloud development and operations. So obviously, we do infrastructure monitoring, and if you're here, you believe that we do it well. So, and we added the APM in the mix. So we do tracing and profiling inside the application, and we are also able to understand like cross-process tracing, and to understand what goes on like from a transaction perspective from a service to another. But here, now, we are going to have 3 products working seamlessly together. So, as I said, I think one of the use cases here, a very important use case, is to be able to jump from metrics to logs. So you find something on the monitoring, and you're going to jump to the logs and say, hey, I want to troubleshoot, I want to understand what happened, and I'm going to do more investigation. Another thing we want to do is we also want to obviously show logs in dashboard, and I'm going to illustrate that a little bit later. But using metrics as Datadog are doing, we want to extract from logs metrics and keep them for long range, for instance, and really leverage this Datadog ability to do that. We are going to also provide new alert types and leverage the alert backend Datadog already has. The relationship between logs and APM are also very interesting because we are really inside the application, and we are troubleshooting something, and we're trying to find something. And I can now say, hey, let's see the transaction as a whole and see all the function calls and how fast it went to go that, even if I had an exception, for instance. The other way around works as well. I find something slow in the APM, and even with all the context I have on a span, sometimes it's not enough. And you may want to just jump to the logs and understand better the operational details and the error details. Now, let's look at the product itself that we are currently building. So the collection and the integrations first. I have some good news, just the Datadog Agent 6 that was just announced actually is going to, in the near future, is going to embed a log agent. The log agent is going to be able to tail files, listen, assign custom tags, redact and drop sensitive information. I think here we did it this way, not only because, we all know that collecting logs is difficult, you use probably RSys logs or FluentD, Logstash or whatsoever. But what's really matter here is that we really wanted to push the seamless integrations pattern like Datadog did well so far. So when you're going to deploy integrations, you're going to collect the logs if you want, in addition of the metrics. So to illustrate that, for instance, you have an Apache servers. We're going to collect the important metrics, but you're also going to collect the important logs as well. Processing pipelines are going to be installed at the same time. So the processing pipelines are going to run on the cloud, which means that you can push logs, raw logs, and enrich, tokenize, do some GeoIPs, extract the user agents and the web browser, etc., directly from the raw logs. And also, in the near future as well, we are going to amend the template dashboard to have the most appropriate log stream in it. So that's what we do. Yeah. So at the day I'm talking now, actually we already have on the right side these integrations available. So Nginx, Apache, HAProxy, MongoDB, Postgre, etc. And we also want to have all the logs from AWS. So ELB, S3 are almost available. And Lambda function, for instance, is a very interesting use case here. So I don't know, like some of you are doing Lambda functions here? Yeah? So if you experience Lambda functions, they are great. But the problem is that it's very difficult to understand what, to troubleshoot them because you don't have a quick access to the logs. So here we're going to be able to, in addition to collect the metrics, like how many times they were triggered, like how fast they were, we're also going to be able to just show you in near real time, like we are expecting like a 10 seconds latency, what really happened in the Lambda function. Okay, and we're going to put that in your dashboard, and you're going to just be able to select the Lambda function and really do the troubleshooting like this. Now you may want to see what it looks like. Yeah. So we designed like a logs explorer that is really efficient to troubleshoot logs in logs. And why we did that is because like all most of the log management solution we know, we believe like the learning curve is actually quite steep. Okay, so what we wanted to do here is like to do something very super efficient, where we want to use facets on the left side because we believe that that's the best way to navigate through the data. They are used for filtering and analytics as well. So it gives you like a gist of what the data looks like, and it's super natural to navigate into the data. So these facets actually are installed by default with integrations, and you can also obviously create your own depending on your data. So here you have like the time ranges. The search bar actually are going to is totally linked with the faceting. So it contains all the filters, and it's totally in sync with the URL. So why it's in sync with the URL is because when you troubleshoot, usually you want to share your investigation, and you are going to just copy the URL and just say, hey, can you investigate that? So that's why we put it here. So, and also here you have like columns where you can just do the thing, like add like any attributes and like see the response time, etc. So that's like an animated GIF. So it's not a mock-up this time, it's real. Okay, it's working. So, and we are starting the private beta. And we are currently onboarding like 20 to 40 companies. And we want to do much more. So, and that's working for real. Okay. So, a last thing here, we also, because logs has like tons of information in it, and we have lots of context, we actually have this contextual panel here that just display all the log. And at the top you have like the severity, the host, and everything. You have the message, of course, and the tags, like just below. The tags are exactly your infrastructure tags. So here we don't have a lot, but if you have like lots of tags associated to your host name, if you provide if the host is providing the logs as well, you're going to have all the tags from the host as well. So why it matters, it's because here we have like call to actions, and because we want to have like seamless connection between products, like you're going to here like be offered to just filter by, filter out, add columns, like do all the things you want to do when you investigate, but also we're going to provide actions that make sense, that we think that makes sense, so you can just jump to another view and just investigate more in another view. Okay. So now what's next? So as I said, the beta is today. You can apply online. We already have like lots of people asking for it, so more than like hundreds of customers. And we are going to open up the beta like in the next few months. General availability, the target is to provide it to everyone early 2018. And afterwards, we have actually lots of exciting things Right now, we're kind of catching up because we are building a new product, but we have like lots of thoughts about how we should do logs, and I'm going to explain that to you if you come on our booth, and like yeah, that's not something I'm going to explain here. So, if you have questions.
Oh, there we go. Lots of questions.
Thank you. I understand this is a beta, but do we have any idea what the retention period would be for the logs?
Yeah. So the retention period is going to be like you will have what you asked for. So generally, people are keeping 15 days or 30 days of retention of index data. What we call index data is when you can just troubleshoot and do this faceting, etc. But obviously, we're going to have like archiving capabilities where we're going to be able to just keep the data as long as you want, as well. And to mention like the interesting features as well, like we also like envisioning to be able to reload some archive data and to be able to query archive data and that kind of things.
Is it possible to add logs to custom checks? Or I mean, implement login with custom checks to custom services?
Of course. So, so I mentioned a lot the integrations, but you can, as I said, the log agents can tail files, so you can just tail all the files you have. You can even like stream, if you don't even have files, you can just stream the data directly to the log agent, and it's going to go to Datadog. And if you don't want to have Datadog, the log agent, and you want to just use what you already have, like rsyslog or whatsoever, we're also able to get the data from other agents because the intake API has been designed to just collect any kind of log data. Yeah.
Stand up.
I noticed you had Apache on there. I'm assuming that's access logs as well. So if we log in that format, can we just piggyback on that everywhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Stand up.
Oh, sorry.
Stand up so you can.
You mentioned support for other agents. Are you going to have plugins for like FluentD at launch, or is that something they're expecting the community to provide afterwards?
We have a couple of beta applicants who asked for it. So Niels there in the corner is working on it right now, and we are about to.
No
so
pressure.
actually, we had like lots of customers with Logmatic, and we are covering like that use cases as well. So actually, the FluentD connector that we are building is like from our past experience, and it's going to be made available like in 1 week or 2. Yep.
Does it support Postgres logs yet?
Not yet. Not yet. Actually, Postgre is like, there are difficult logs because there are multi-lines and etc. But we know that we're going to be able to do it, and I'm talking about like a 2 months delay here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. One more question. Cool. And then we'll do one more question, and we'll move on to the next topic.
Storing everyone's logs is expensive. Is this going to be a bolt-on feature, or is this part of our existing?
Mike. Sorry, could you ask?
Additional cost.
Could you ask him the?
Sorry. Storing logs is expensive. Is this going to be a bolt-on to existing packages, or is this going to be included in existing packages? I.e., is there an additional cost?
Yeah, as you mentioned it, storing logs is expensive. So of course, if you have like tons of logs, we won't be able to make it free of charge. So we are currently working on how we're going to deliver that feature. But it's going to be additional cost.
So the pricing model will be something that we announced towards the end of that beta. But if there are conversations, as I mentioned, our customer success team is here, and they're happy to chat with you about your plans and how that might fit into your world. But yeah, cool. Well, thank you very much, Renaud.
Yeah.